Is it female, female, or is it FF? Fem slash? Ew. No. Don't like that. That just reminds me of Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Evelyn, and today we're talking about something very close to my heart. Books with female-female representation. So this is not going to be my official female-female representation recommendations video. That was a mouthful of words to say. Today we're actually going to be talking about a really cool reading challenge taking place in the month of February that I'm going to be participating in, probably mostly over on Twitter. So Female February is a month-long reading challenge set up by Emmy and Ellie from the blog Beyond a Bookshelf. This is actually the third year that they're doing it, but it's the first time that I am officially participating. I mean, look at the little participatory badge. The idea is to just read books with female-female representation during the month of February, and there are also lots of different opportunities to be entered into a grand prize giveaway for a pre-order of a female-female book of your choice. And a reminder, in order to be entered into that drawing, you have to fill out the official form that's on the blog. Lucky for you, I have linked to the blog post about all things Female February in the description. So head over there if you have any other questions after this video. The challenges are sort of split up into two parts. They're the reading challenges and the photo challenges. Since I am more video inclined than photo inclined, I'll just be sticking to the reading challenges and screaming about all the books on Twitter, which you can follow me at Harper_Evelyn for Female February updates, but also just other bookish thoughts, and then just other random thoughts, and it's Twitter, you know? The challenges for the reading portion are organized on this lovely little bingo board here, and if you get 3 in a row, you get an extra entry into the prize drawing, so that's really cool. So right now we're going to go over the challenges. I'm going to give you a few reading recommendations, and then I'm going to go over my very, very loose TBR for the month. Let's get into it. Starting out with the reading challenges, as you can see there are 9 challenges here on the bingo board. Challenge number 1 is to read a female-female contemporary, historical, and/or romance book. Challenge number 2 is to read a female-female book from a 2020 or 2021 debut author. Challenge number 3 is to read a female-female book featuring your favorite trope. Challenge number 4 is to read a female-female audiobook, graphic novel, or multimedia story. Challenge number 5 is to read a female-female backlist book, so that's any book published basically pre-2020. Challenge number 6 is to reread a female-female book that you loved. Challenge number 7 is to read a female-female sci-fi or fantasy. Challenge number 8 is to read a sapphic own voices book, meaning that the author identifies as a lesbian, bisexual, pansexual, some sort of sapphic sexual orientation. And challenge number 6, read a female-female recommendation from a friend. So, if you're looking for a friend to recommend some books to you, look no further. Hi, we're friends now, and I am about to recommend a handful of books. So here we have, in no particular order, just as they popped into my head, some female-female book recommendations for you all to use to get that bingo, baby. The Princess and the Fangirl by Ashley Poston is a young adult contemporary retelling of The Prince and the Pauper set at Comic-Con when a fangirl and the actress starring in the lead role of a popular sci-fi series end up switching places in order to figure out who stole a very, very important movie script, and one of those two girls has a sapphic romance. Everything Leads to You by Nina LaCour follows an aspiring set decorator after she discovers that this very famous classic Hollywood actor had a secret daughter and now secret granddaughter, and she helps that granddaughter get her first acting gig. and they may or may not fall in love. The Summer of Jordi Perez and the Best Burger in Los Angeles follows a plus-size main character who's a fashion blogger, and she has gotten this really cool summer job at her favorite boutique, and she thinks she can make it a full-time position, except she's competing against this other girl named Jordi, and they may or may not fall in love. The Love Curse of Melody McIntyre by Robin Talley follows Melody McIntyre, stage manager extraordinaire, who is not supposed to date anyone during this production of Les Mis, or else the curse that is on her high school theater is going to wreak havoc on the production. But also there's a really cute girl. The Falling in Love montage by Kira Smith follows two girls who decide to have a relationship that consists only of the parts of falling in love that you would see in a rom-com movie montage. Obviously that's not gonna work out very well for them. You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson follows Liz Leidy, who is one of the few black students at her affluent suburban high school, and when a scholarship opportunity falls through, she decides to compete for prom queen in order to get the money associated with the crown, and may or may not end up falling for the competition. The Dark Tide by Alicia Jensinka is a YA fantasy novel set in a kingdom that is slowly flooding because it's sort of cursed, and the witch queen is supposed to sacrifice a boy that she loves to the sea in order to stop that from happening, except another girl has basically decided to take his place. And now she might be falling for her, so they really have to figure out how to break that curse. Not Your Sidekick by C.B. Lee follows a group of superpowered teenagers who have to save both their superhero and supervillain parents when they are mysteriously kidnapped. Summer of Salt by Katrina Lino follows the Fernway sisters, who are from a long line of magical women. They live on this island by the sea, and they are about to leave to go to college when this bird that has been on the island for like years and years and years goes missing, and it affects the entire town, and they have to figure out what happened. And it's beautiful and haunting and magical and very, very hard to describe actually, but I recommend it 100%. The Never Tilting World by Rin Chapeko is set on a planet that is broken into two halves, each half ruled by a sister goddess. It follows the daughters of these women as they embark on two separate quests in order to return to the place where the planet was broken and try to fix it, and one of those girls is in a female-female romance. When We Were Magic by Sarah Gailey follows a group of teenage witches who are forced to rely on each other after one of them accidentally murders somebody. And finally, Love is for Losers by Viveka Bergman, which follows 15-year-old Phoebe, who's convinced that falling in love makes you an idiot. She has proof of this. Her best friend just got a boyfriend and became a completely different person. It's so annoying, and Phoebe would definitely never want to be like that. And then she meets cute fellow thrift shop volunteer Emma, and things start to change. So this one is actually set to release on February 23rd, which gives you just enough time to squeeze it in at the end of the month if you're interested. I read an arc of it and it was so funny and so relatable. I loved all of the characters, and Phoebe's voice really reminded me of like books I loved as a like younger teenager, especially like The Princess Diaries. It's just very teenagery, very sarcastic, very like nobody understands me in like such a relatable and cathartic way, and the romance is so cute, so I really recommend it, and you should all check it out at the end of the month. And now on to my personal TBR for Female February. These are the books that I'm going to attempt to read. And there are some that I definitely know that they're the ones that I'm going to read, and then there are some that are just like optional, so this might change. And if you want to stay updated, remember to go follow me on Twitter. So starting with one that I 100% know I'm going to be able to read because I own a copy of it, Crier's War by Nina Varela. This book, I have been putting off reading this book since literally I got it in 2019, like the month it came out in Owlcrate, and it scares me. I want to like this one so bad. I think what happened was I put off reading Girls of Paper and Fire, And I know I have friends who love that book. It was just a little bit too intense for me. Like, I don't like graphic violence or like graphic sex in the stories I'm reading. There's like semi-graphic sexual violence in that book, which I think is why I was like not super into it. Like, I did enjoy it, but it was not like mind-blowingly amazing for me like, say, The Dark Tide was. And anyway, people hype up this book in the same way that they hype up Girls of Paper and Fire, so I think I let that like really like freak me out. I don't want to be that one person who doesn't like any of the really popular female books, so I should just not read them. And yet somehow I read Priory. Like, that was fun. My brain does weird things. My anxiety is interesting. So I'm going to be counting Crier's War toward prompt 7, read a sci-fi or fantasy book, and prompt 8, read a recommendation from a friend, because like I said, I have so many friends who've been like, read this book, we love this book, you gotta read the book. So I'm doing it! I promise, I'm doing it, and if I don't, you can roast me. Like, seriously, if you don't see me talking about this book in the coming month, like talking about it on Twitter, please roast me. Like, peer pressure me into reading this book. I need it. Crier's War would also potentially count toward prompt number 5, read a backlist book, but I'm actually hoping to get my hands on a copy of Hot Dog Girl by Jennifer Dugan, because in a previous video I also pledged to read Jennifer Dugan books this year, and I can actually hopefully get Hot Dog Girl from the Iowa City Public Library, like a physical copy. And so if that happens, if it isn't checked out by the time I get back to Iowa, which is soon, then I will be reading Hot Dog Girl. I also have the audiobook of Rise of Kyoshi on hold currently, and hopefully I will be getting that early enough in February that I'll be able to finish it before the end of the month. I have been really into audiobooks lately, especially when I'm in Iowa, because I have a pretty long walk to and from my dorm and the dining hall, and I like to listen to things on that walk, like audiobooks or podcasts. And I have wanted to read this series for like a hot second, and so I'm super excited that I'm finally getting the opportunity. I have loved Avatar: The Last Airbender for years, and I love that we're getting like sapphic representation in the publications. It's just so cool, and I'm really excited for that. And of course that would be fulfilling the audiobook option of prompt 4. And that just leaves me with prompt 1, read a contemporary, historical, and or romance. Prompt 2, read a book from a 2020 or 2021 debut author. And prompt 6, reread a book that you loved. And I could knock all 3 of those out with You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. I love this book so much. This was Leah's debut last year, and it's a contemporary, so that would cover all 3 of the prompts. But I also have some others that I could read if I have time to sort of split up those prompts. I've got The Dark Tide, which I love. I've got The Princess and the Fangirl, which I love. And I have, if I'm feeling real spicy and ambitious, Priory of the Horse Tree, which would be insane of me to try and read it in the shortest month of the year. But I do want to reread this book during 2021 because I finally got my hands on an actual finished copy. I had an arc of this book, that's how I read it the first time, and now I have the hardcover. Which I say it all the time, and now that I actually have it, I can confirm you could probably do serious damage to somebody's skull with this book. She thick. I have to read one of these for the rereading prompt, and I guess technically, like, I don't have to read either of the contemporaries because Hot Dog Girl's a contemporary, so I could pick any of these basically just to fulfill that one extra fun prompt. So I was basically planning on bringing all of these to Iowa with me anyway because I like to surround myself with my favorite comfort books, of which these are. So yeah, there you have my incredibly chaotic potential TBR. If you want to see what books I actually end up reading, once again, follow me on Twitter. This was just This video was just a secret plug for my Twitter. I am so excited to be joining in on this super cool challenge. Remember that you can find the information down in the description. I've linked to the blog post. And if you want to check out more, there is a hashtag that I don't quite remember, but I'll put it here. And you can follow that. And then there's stuff on Bookstagram as well. This is just, we're taking over the bookternet with female books. And I am so ready for it. Because I'm not planning on getting this video up until a little bit into February, that means that the challenge has already started. So go join in, go have some fun. Hopefully sometime in the future I will be doing an actual full in-depth Sapphic book recommendations video, and if you want to stick around to see if that ever happens, it will. I promise it will. Remember to click that subscribe button if you like this video. Leave me a big thumbs up. Comment down below what are some Sapphic books you are looking forward to reading, or Sapphic books that you love. I could not think of a graphic novel recommendation like at all, so if you have like a Sapphic graphic novel that you really love, please like drop it down below especially, but any Sapphic book I am here for. And with that being said, my name is Evelyn. I make new videos every magical Monday, and I'll see you real soon. Bye bye.